My name is Robert Haygood. They call me Brother Mukam. I've been in prison for 25 years. I'm serving a life sentence.
14 years.
So that would have made you at what age when you...
17.
Well, I've been in here 11 and a half years since I was 16 years old.
16 years ago.
At age 16?
At age 17.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Submit? Submit or get your skull busted.
What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do when you are hereby remanded by the court of common pleas, appease the politician bandit, to be shackled and branded again by the long gavelled hand of Mephistopheles? The Apollo has landed.
For he was barely 17 when the brass keys turned and swung the gate that slammed at his back, then pushed him through the gauntlet of hard-faced men.
I have dreams to remember, dreams to remember. I have dreams.
That's right. That's right. Handle your business.
This is about handling your business.
Right.
I have lived a painful life, okay? A lot of times I asked myself a lot of questions when I was coming up, you know, like where was my mother, where was my father, and things like that there, you know, and I stayed in a house, in a home with a house full of people, and sometimes I had those moments of loneliness, and I called out those names, you know, whereas a lot of people might call out God, I called out for my mother.
Hate, hate. You're the reason, not them. They touched you as a child, you survived, or so you thought. Getting yours now will affect no one. Your soul's been bought. The one touch by the hurting, and it really hurt, pushed your dominoes, and they're still clicking while they fall.
Being locked down, you know, in and of itself, is something that I don't think is really designed for any man.
Things that, you know, prison is designed to do most is to destroy a man mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you know, not just physically.
Prison is designed to crush your spirit, to crush your soul, and to destroy your physical being. That's the only reason it's designed for. No other reason. It's to destroy you.
For my own experience, prison is a place that would destroy all self-respect and moral from an individual to come in here.
And there's nothing on TV, there's nothing that you're going to read in a book, there's nothing that anybody's going to tell you that's going to prepare you for what you have to deal with when you come inside a prison.
This prison does not reflect, it is not a microcosm of American society. This prison is a microcosm of North Philadelphia. It's a microcosm of West Philadelphia. It's a microcosm of Black South Philadelphia. That's what it is. It's an extension of the ghetto. It's a suburban plantation.
You are off to see the wizard of Imperio, Pearl, Murrow, lynch mobs, and black gas mass hysteria to bury ya on the campaign plantation capital of all hills, Third Reich from the sun, 1601, Penitentiary Avenue.
When Master placed me in this environment, he said, "This is your chain."
I still remember the hatred in the eyes of a man who didn't know me. I still feel the pain while he beat me till I could not see.
This is the new slavery for anybody that's out there, you know, really digging this thing. This is the new slavery, institutionalization of people, and especially people of color.
Yeah, you do time, rehabilitate what they said, But the true ending the man wants is your black ass dead.
The enslavement of African people, chattel slavery as you know it today, was successful is because it was invisible. And so too these neo-concentration camps. This is called Tales from a Dead Man, because being in these neo-concentration camps is like being dead.
Some people call me Scott Latney, some people call me AM6002. It's all the same in prison, just a name and a number.
Welcome to the well-oiled Orwellian cell block hell of red clay country. You have been repossessed by the state, and your fate is now in the hands of the hunter, a pale pack of hack alien body snatchers from the Cracker Factory. Don't ever slumber. You can change your first slave name, but your second is a number.
I come from the land of the Liberty Bell. Did they ring the alarm when the slave ship sailed across the waters of my African borders and brought me to this land of misery and slaughter? Truthfully, I don't think so.
It's really painful for me because I never really dealt with those, those things. I just like pushed them in the back of my head, and I never did have an opportunity to like deal with my father or interact with him in any way.
Dreams of mighty kings, warrior queens, creators of math, science, medicine, astronomy. Dreams of shackled brown black bodies traveling across oceans and seas, broken backs, torn flesh, helpless ravaged women, children snatched from their mother's breasts.
So if you get out of control, we're gonna put you with the niggas. You see what we do to them. So basically that's one of the elements of enslavement in these neo-concentration camps in America. That's America with 3 Ks.
Yeah, like that Independence Day thing, you know what I mean?
You have been re-de-emancipated again by the Grand Master host of America's most unwanted, dead or alive, into the obscene penal code, commode stratus of the least favorite nation within a nation within a nation status, the 50666 satanic annex of the Iceman, P.O.O.O. Box 7 bondage, James bondage.
When you walk through the wall, when you walk through the gate, it's like you're passing into this pressurized bubble that you have to exist in 24 hours a day. And this pressure, you feel it. It is a physical presence that you will feel, that will weigh upon you, that will make you older, it will make you tireder, and it will destroy your health, your spirit, if you let it. It's a daily battle.
No tall tales, just tales of jail hell, pissy and shitty smell in a dirty cell. I ring a bell, brothers that did a bid know it well, trapped in dog cages, victims at tender ages, news pages, never reporting the slave wages. Jeers, cheers, my nation enslaved in their prime years.
The jailhouse of slavery, just another level. A penile nation of millions, isolated from the rest of civilization on suburban plantations like Auschwitz.
Though their institutions despise me, fear me, refuse to understand me, so they try to destroy me.
Madness prevails here. You can tell by the bars on windows, 40-foot high walls, tormented cries of bodies chained, blank eyes, staring faces, and loud slamming doors.
You have entered the alimentary epicenter of the body politic, a.k.a. the absolute depravity of the abdominal cavity of the beast.
You just can't keep a man in a cell trapped 22 hours a day and expect him to return to society or to whatever jail population and act right, because it ain't gonna happen.
You see guys standing in their doorways hollering and screaming and talking to nobody. This is a regular occurrence on every block, all up and down the block, all throughout the jails, you know, and you see people losing it.
Murder, violence, cold killing each other. Don't you realize that I'm your brother, father, son, uncle, nephew? One way or another, I'm related to you because bloodlines got crossed in the mix.
An airtight twilight cyber zone of cloned Y chromosomes where the devil and Davy Jones are on lockdown with Lord of the Flies on C-Block Sodom, where slow torture and the fortune in men's eyes lies so far below sea level, whale shit, the pit and the pendulum unfit for human habitation and ground zero converge on the cellar floor of Gomorrah, where coats, votes, and boats tick the cold click of the clock, tick-tock, tick, multiplied by pi, magnified by 200 years of justice, deny, divide by 360 degrees of smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom.
That I'm basically left to myself to deal with. I have to deal with on my own now. And I experience things that I think I shouldn't have experienced.
The years of my youth were times of darkness and confusion. The animals of the jungle became the wild beasts that growled and prowled through the sagebrush of my mind. I had become a creature of impulse, without ethics or morals, without compassion or shame.
Coming from the environment I came from, prison to me was like almost something we had to do.
While in the county prison, you know, you can see the difference in the sentences. You know, those who are white and those who are people of color. You know, the whites receive the county bits, and the blacks and Hispanics and so forth receive the state time for the same crime.
Now, we all been put in prison. All the white people have disappeared. Where they at? White people ain't committing crimes. This prison is 89% black, and the rest is Hispanic. It's about 5 white people here. It is. It's 4,000 inmates here. It's about 5 white guys. Where are the white people? They don't commit crimes anymore?
My son wrote a letter today. In it, my face was a question mark. He said, "Dad, I need your help." But my prison cellgate was shot. Only my mind wandered, and the agony of my absence was a humid fog that constrained and choked my heart. Thank you very much.
Because as it stands now, people of color, particularly those of African descent, are being slaughtered in this war because they don't understand that the war has been undeclared and relentlessly waged for the last 400 plus odd years.
What about that struggle, man? That struggle.
Not now. Tell them later. Get busy.
Rock and roll, they built this city on Plymouth Rock auction blocks in the murder of rolling thunder.
Forgetting vast cruelty and brutality. Does not take much convincing others to kill other people. Institutions of killing. Life so easily turn murderers in a blink of an eye. Do people care?
While civilization spreads its insanity onward, souls are rotting on the vine, dropping to the ground like so many spoiled fruits.
This is the house that Jack built. This is the house that Jack built.
Prison life is real. Prison life is me, my father, my brothers, and those that been denied justice by this wicked system, those that will never see the street ever again.
It's just another fucking day on lockdown.
A lockdown, naughty megalopolis of human crops of cotton rotten on the vine, of equal protection, huddled, half-mast, cast the first stone fast, 'cause it's gonna be your last. It's back to the future, and your future is your past. It's back to the future, and your future is your past.
Prison is the fabric of American society. So prison indeed is in my future.
To fling my arms wide in the face of the sun, dance whirl whirl till the quick day is done. Rest at a pale evening, a tall slim tree, night coming tenderly, black like me.
Well, my future, right now, my future is just shadowed by a life sentence, right? But
well, my mother passed away when I was 3. Okay, I was named after my father. He was an alcoholic. He was, had illnesses as a result of his alcoholism, and I just looked at the world like the world owed me a living. I don't want to bash my father, but I would like to deal with a lot of issues about him.
Poverty begets crime, and they're not going to solve the problems of poverty in America, so therefore they're not going to be able to solve crime. So all they're going to do is keep locking people up, locking people up.
Ain't nothing change, 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 ain't nothing change.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. The warden's pleased to meet you. Hope you guess his name. Now meet Pol Pot, Pandora, Pluto, Pandemonium, and the Prince of Darkness.
Staring at the cracks in the wall of a prison cell, too small to stretch my leg or lift my head, a beam of light passed through my mind, and I listened to the silence and walked out, a humbled man.
I wake up with pain, I sleep with pain, I walk with pain. Pain to me is something that's just part of my life now, 24 hours a day.
And here you don't have nothing. So if you coming from an environment where all your life all you seen was violence, when you come in here, you're going to be confronted with the same thing, violence. Psychological violence. Cycle.
Violence, hatred, fear, and the Khmer Rouge, your constant companions through these catwalk canyons of 12x9 final solutions.
Master gave me this chain. He placed me in a rat cage, put another cage on top, another, and another.
That's what they did to the Jews. She said that she believes that prisoners should be used for experiments. Don't use animals. Now, we've gotten to the point that we care more about animal rights than we care about human rights. I'm not a human anymore. Come in here, try some new drugs on me, make my motherfucking skin a lampshade.
Pure terror, fear, loneliness. There's no way that you can put a gauge or try and measure the depths of what you feel, how hopeless the situation seems to you when you come inside cold walls where people hate you, where people try to kill you.
Death by incarceration.
They don't hear the silent screams in the middle of the night or when you can hear a pin drop at 4 o'clock in the morning.
We, as a whole, have experienced this place more than enough.
Where torment, cement, and steel, and the real 8th Amendment ferment and fester in the belly of the least of your brethren, pilloried in Hillary's village of the damned, where the only law on earth not broken is the call of the wild man-child in the promised landfill of smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom.
How did your mother die?
because of my father.
Your mother died as a result of your father?
Yeah, crime of passion.
Crime of passion?
Yeah, shotgun blast.
Here, the midwife of life and death and the mother of all invention is Father Time, where every cover is blown and every soul on ice has China syndrome. You have been judged by the caller to have answered to what you have been called. You have crawled from a ball and chain breakable into the shadow of the highest wall of all breachable only by the reach of the hawk and dead man walking. Here, year after year, you will be counted 4 times a day, but will amount to nothing. Survival of the unfittest is the myth of surviving what you arrive with.
What hurt you the most about losing your freedom and being brought here?
What hurt me the most about losing my freedom and being brought here? What hurt me the most was that when I got locked up, I was 16 years old. I just turned 16. I turned 16 down the roundhouse. And, you know, and them years hurt me the most. 16, 17, 18, 19, not being able to experience what the average 16, 17, 18-year-old kid out there experience.
You have a son?
Yes, I have a son.
How old is your son?
14 years old.
42 years ago, he was only 17.
Son, your trial isn't over. It's just begun. Now, bend them and spread. Like I said, you're in red clay country. Bend them and spread. Like I said, you're in red clay country.